Hey,
I am talking to the Olivia. Oh my
how you
goodness.
doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I just made my drink before we got on.
Oh man. It's not gonna be one of those type of conversations, I'm telling you.
Nah, it's
But
just something I do. It's just something I do.
it's all good. Well, I appreciate you taking the time out to come speak to me. This is the Making Plays combo, and really what we're gonna be talking about is just all the plays that you were making before the pandemic,
Hmm.
what you're doing now, and what you plan on doing once everything is over. But I always like to ask, like, how are you? How are your family doing? Do you still have people down in Jamaica?
I do. They are
Okay.
all okay. I make sure I talk to them. So far, everybody's locked down and doing what they're supposed to over there in Jamaica.
Okay, good, good, good. I think sometimes we take for granted what's going on in different countries.
Hmm.
When I was talking, I think I was talking to Rotimi. He was talking about Africa, how it's like really hard over there because some of these countries still have issues just without a pandemic, and the pandemic just like puts it on 10.
Absolutely. My business partners out there, Dio Kasango, I have my foundation that's in the DRC.
Hmm.
And I actually just spoke to him like 2 weeks ago to make sure that everything was okay there. And so far, he says it's all right. I mean, I spoke to him about a month before that, and he said it hadn't hit yet. So I don't know how bad it is in the DRC now.
Okay.
But through my foundation, we actually help them, get supplies and stuff for the schools, for the kids. And we also
Mhm.
help build the hospitals, and we give them equipment also. So that will help if they're ever in a bad situation and people really get the COVID bad, that at least they have equipment there. But a lot of the, surrounding cities do not have. So I'm with Rotimi, like we really got to check on our neighbors near and far.
Yeah, that's facts. Now, how did you start that foundation? What made you do it?
I used to go to Congo starting in 2007 when I
Okay.
started doing concerts out there. And I just built a great rapport with him at Dio. And over the years, I've gone back maybe every 2 years. And
Hmm.
then I was like, you know what? This really feels like home. Like, I really feel like I'm in Jamaica when I'm here. What can I do to
Hmm.
help? And at that time, Akon was starting to, get buzz on what he was doing.
Right, right.
So I was like, I really, really want to help out. Like in any way, just let me know. And then, we sat down with the prime minister over there. I sat down with the first lady over there
Wow.
and brought it to fruition. So I've had that for about 3 years now in Congo.
That is awesome. Do you have
Thank
like a link
you.
in your bio or some place where people can go if they want to get involved or donate and stuff like that?
Well, the name of the foundation is called Esengo. That means joy in Congolese. And I'll be sure to post the link on my page because I actually do not have that up, which is a good thing that you said that.
We need that. We need that.
Yes, absolutely.
This is a great foundation. This is for a great cause for our brothers and sisters over in Africa. So we want to do our part. We want to get involved as well.
For sure, for sure.
No doubt. So what other things were you working on before the pandemic started? I know you dropped that Join Me record in the beginning of the year. What else did you have going
Yes,
on?
I dropped that Join Me record like right towards the end of February, January, I think it was.
Right.
Then we actually had just wrapped shooting a movie, Better Than My Last, right at the end of February before
Ooh.
everything got crazy. So we like just made it.
Okay.
And it's set to come out this year, but because of the COVID, like I don't know if they're gonna go straight to Netflix or DVD because it was an in-theater release.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my co-star is Hassan Johnson. Most of you guys know him from The Wire, and he's on the ABC now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really, really good. It's based off of a true story, Quan Miller's story. I'm gonna give you like a quick
No.
synopsis.
Tell us. We want to know. Come on now.
So
Tell us what you can. We don't want you getting in trouble neither.
no, I'm just gonna give you like a short synopsis of what the director. Shout out to Sean Baker, he's the director too.
Okay.
So Quan goes to okay, he gets involved with a whole Russian mafia thing where he does credit card fraud, and then he gets caught and goes to jail. He has a side chick and a wife. I played the side chick. He actually married the side chick in real life, which is like his story is insane. But the
Wow.
things that go on through his life and how he, made the reform and started helping kids and like doing everything with the prisons when he got out, it's
Yeah.
just crazy. He has his own store in Brooklyn now, like his own clothing store and everything. He does a lot. He takes like kids to the Super Bowl when he can, like people who are less fortunate. It's gonna be a really, really good story.
Wow. Now, how did that whole situation come about? Because that
Well, I've
sounds like a
actually
very big film.
Yes, it is. So I've worked with Sean Baker before. He was actually the second movie I think I shot. It was called Conspiracy X, and Kalita Smith was in that one.
Mm.
So I have a good rapport with Sean. So when this movie came up, he was like, "Hey, let me call my girl." Oh, I was like,
Okay, okay.
"Bet." Yeah, so I've been really digging into the acting. I really, really enjoy it, like as much as I sing. So it's a great,
Really?
yeah.
Wow. When did you realize that you were going to have to like pivot, or when did you want to start expanding outside of music?
Well, I met my acting coach, Tracy Moore, in 2007.
Okay.
And I've been with her ever since. For those who don't know Tracy Moore, she's the one who coached Eve when Eve had her show. She coached Buster for all of the roles he's had. She's coached Missy, Terrence J when he did Think Like a Man. Like, she's basically our actor whisperer. And she's been like a really good friend of mine for years. So, like, she just always keeps me on my toes. Like, I had to do a NCIS audition the other day, and I was like, they're still taking
Really?
stuff. Yeah, they called for me to do it, so I called her immediately and was like, all right, check my sides and make sure this is dope before I send it in. So at least we can still do that via email
Yeah.
and Skype and stuff. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Wow. That is awesome, man. Those are some big shows right there.
Yes.
That's super dope. We can't wait till things open up so we can see you, whether it's on the big screen or on Netflix. Regardless, we all excited about it. Um,
Thank you.
so what was your first reaction though, like when the pandemic started and things got a little crazy and they started getting shut down?
Now that was, I'm trying to think when I first heard, okay, you know what? I was in New York doing Love and Hip Hop and flew back home. And then it started to get really, really crazy. And they was like, yeah, we need you to come back and do, film some other scenes. And I was like, absolutely not. Y'all were trying to get me killed. Like, it's not that serious.
Right.
So, and they was like, but we really need, y'all better use some old footage you have because moi, I'm staying home.
That's
And
right.
that's when I was like, okay, it's really getting serious. And New York was getting hit like the worst. So I was
Yeah.
like, why are y'all not shut down yet anyway? And then they finally shut down like after it started to really ramp up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I knew it was crazy when production called and was like, okay, everything is now at a halt. And then my fiance, he actually works in the movie and television business also.
Mm.
And they told him that. So I was like, okay, if yours told you that, then I know it's really at a standstill.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it got serious for me when the NBA shut down, and I was
You
just like,
are a mess. Okay, now that is true because I am a big NBA fan. So
yeah.
yeah.
So let's talk about the song that you dropped earlier this year, Join Me. It's a nice song. It's a little bit different for you because you're kind of singing and rapping. What made you do
Yes,
that?
I mean, well, if you don't follow the Olivia career, when I first came out with Biz Ounce in 2001, I was
Mm.
singing and rapping.
You were,
Yes.
but
So
it's been a long time.
yes, it had no because the last thing you guys heard from me was 2014 was December and then Walk Away and stuff. I just
Okay.
took a hiatus, but I don't want to get into that before I finish talking about the single, and then I'll tell you about that.
Yes.
So the single is called Join Me. I did it with HV. He's a super dope producer. We hooked up in Miami. We were in the studio, and he was like, look, I got some tracks I want to play you, and I think that these like really fit you. So he was like, this one I'm not sure. So when he first played it, it just had the dopest vibe ever. And I just started freestyling, and I was like, let me go lay something down real quick. And I
Right.
was like, yeah, this is it. And then he had like a few other tracks, and he has about 6 tracks on my album. So I really, really love his production.
Wow.
And I
So you
wanted to come out with something different purposely because I know that you guys were expecting a ballad. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go far left field.
we were. I ain't
Yes.
gonna lie. I was expecting something like that, but yeah, when I heard, I said, "That's Olivia." Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to do something totally different, and it's that's what you're gonna get on the album. You're gonna get a lot of different vibes that just flow into each other. There's 10 songs on the album, and the album is called Pressure, and it just makes you, it just relaxes you. It makes you hype. It makes you want to smoke weed or whatever you do. It makes you want
Oh,
to ride out in 4 in the
it's
morning.
lit up type of vibes, huh?
Yeah, it's dope. It's really, really like I put together a good melting pot of things. I'll say
Yeah.
that.
So why the name Pressure?
The name Pressure, obviously, because I feel like it was so much pressure to put out an album because everybody was expecting one from G Unit, including myself. And then, the pressure of just being back in the spotlight. And
Right.
then I just feel like it's pressure, period, on anybody, when you're doing something. So I was like, this is just a good title.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, we're all excited that you're putting out music. I do know that the time that it wasn't that you just went on hiatus, you were attending to some family issues and stuff.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it wasn't
So
like you just disappeared.
right. My mom got sick in 2014,
Right.
and we first started noticing maybe in 2013. She was diagnosed with early signs of Parkinson's,
Mm,
and you know, sometimes I would notice her forgetting certain things or something. So I was like, well, maybe it's Alzheimer's. So I don't know if she was just going through a few things.
right.
That's ultimately what it was the Parkinson's. So I had them actually move down to Florida, my mom and my dad, while I was still in New York. In 2015, I had them move down. My father had already retired, so he was like,
Right.
all right, we're gonna go buy a place out here, we'll chill, and I'll take care of her. So after they moved, I was like, I'm not comfortable staying here without them because I'm a big family person. All of my cousins, my aunts and uncles, my brothers, like, they know if we're doing any type of gathering, it's going to be at either my house or my aunt's house. Like, for anything, like, we always just get together, and was always able to go drive right to my parents' house, or at least be maybe 20 minutes away, 45 minutes away. New
Sure.
York and Florida is kind of a long drive.
It feels like everywhere is long in Florida.
Doesn't it? So I decided to move, and I helped my dad with her, you know, for the next couple of years. And then she passed away a year now. She passed away in 2018. So it's been a complete year
Yeah.
without her. And it was just like, I didn't want to do anything. I didn't even want to go in the studio. I didn't want to sing. I didn't want to listen to music. Like,
Wow.
that's how bad it was for me. And then
Yeah.
I just had to pull myself together because I actually got the singing thing from my mom. Like, my mom used to sing to me as a baby. Like, when I was in her stomach, I can remember stuff like that. And when I came out, like, my dad used to play the guitar. So I was always like around, you know, musical things. So I was like, I don't think she would be happy if I just stopped singing, you know? So I was like, all right, bitch, get it together, you know? And that's just what happened. So now I feel like I'm ready to do it. I actually did a song that I dedicated to her on the album, and I finished it right before the COVID hit and everything.
Yeah.
So that will be the bonus track on that album.
Wow. That's an amazing story. Are there any features that you have on the album that you can tell us about?
I don't want to tell you, but I will give you a hint.
Give us a hint. Yes.
Like, you still won't get it.
Okay.
It's like a reggaeton feature, and that's all I'm giving you. As I told you, it's a lot of good gumbo going on in my album. So, and it's actually one of my favorite songs on the album, not just because of the feature, but because of the track. The track just makes you want to get up and either do the bogle, do the salsa. Like, it makes you do everything. Like, you can't help but dance when you hear this track.
Oh wow. Okay.
So the
Okay.
track was already a hit, and then when we put our vocals to it, I was like, okay, this is a smash.
Do you have
So
a date
that
for
might be the second single, but I'm not gonna tell you what it is.
We'll just have to wait and see. Do we have a date for that single or the album yet?
So we do not, but I do have a video that I'm gonna do for Join Me, and we're gonna do it totally different since obviously we have to be 6 feet away from everybody. So I
Right.
thought outside of the box with this video, and I'll let you know when it's ready.
Okay.
And maybe we could do some type of special premiere because I've never done a video like this, and when I tell you it's fire, yeah.
Okay. Okay. You have piqued my curiosity.
Yeah.
I also heard you got like a television show that
Yes.
works as well.
Yeah, so
You got a
we're
lot
in
going
pre-production.
on.
I do. God is good.
Yes,
See?
he is.
Yeah, he blesses those that are patient.
Amen.
So it's called Live Lavish, and it's a lifestyle TV show.
Mhm.
And I could not be more excited about it. So we shot half of it in the US and half of it outside of the US.
Mm.
So it's I really don't want to blow the premise for you. Just think, do you guys remember, I'm saying you guys, but yeah, do you guys remember Robin Leach? Do you guys remember Robin Leach?
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's like something,
lifestyles of the rich and famous.
exactly. So that's kind of like what it is.
Yeah.
And it's the freshest thing. It's the freshest thing out.
Oh,
Like, I
wow.
cannot wait to be able to finish.
Okay. So it's pending COVID, obviously.
Yes.
Got you. So how are you managing everything? Because you're in the process of doing an album, you're doing movies, you're doing television. Where do you find the balance?
The balance is when I'm home. I mean,
Okay.
like I said, I have a great family support system. I have an amazing fiance. I read my Bible all the time. I read my Bible app in the morning, at night if I don't have my my real Bible handy.
Right.
It's just things like that keep me grounded.
Nah, no doubt. I always say, man, start your day with the Lord and end your day with the Lord. And
Absolutely.
everything in the middle will take care of itself.
For sure.
So you've been in the game for about 20 years. You've seen the good, the bad. You've had your highs. You've had your lows. What advice would you give to artists who are either trying to get into the business or artists who are just getting a buzz and getting their sea legs within the industry? Because I feel like you've seen a lot of the pitfalls. You know what to look for and what to stay away from.
I mean, the one thing I would say is just keep being persistent. Just do what you love with passion. Like once someone sees how much you're into it, how much passion you put into it, how much time and effort, you're gonna win regardless. And just stand your ground. Like if you believe in you, everybody always says this, but it really is true. If there's only one person in the room that believes in you, sometimes that's the only one you need, and not including yourself. Like you have to really believe in yourself first, you know, because if you don't believe, it's going to show to everybody else. Like they don't even believe themselves, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, just be true to you.
That's great advice right there. Okay, so I actually had to write this question down because I didn't want to forget it.
Okay.
One of my homegirls, she said she would stop following me if I didn't ask you this question. She wants to know who colors your hair, because she's been following you for years and she's always liked the way you've colored your hair. So I have to ask that question.
Okay, so I actually have 4 hairstylists. So I have 2 in New York, and shoot, what is her handle? Her handle is Lady Diva 1.
Okay.
Her name is Debbie. The other stylist is Gabrielle Corney. She's in New York also. And hers is Hairstylist to the Stars. And then I have one here in Florida. Cindy's gonna kill me because I do not know her handle. And I will absolutely not tell you where, because then you guys will be like, I'm coming.
Right.
And then my other hairstylist in LA, for anybody who's in LA, his name is Ray Lawrence.
Okay.
Super fabulous. So all of them are dope. It just depends where I am at the time, but these are the 4 that I've used for my entire career.
Anybody in Atlanta?
Nobody in Atlanta.
That's where we're at. So that's why I had to ask. Okay. But listen, I asked the question, so if she decides to go to any of those spots, that's on her.
Right.
I'm going to wrap it up on my quarantine questions. What's the best thing you've watched during this time?
The best thing I've watched during this time?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go with the most recent. We just watched Extraction with Chris Helmsworth.
Oh, yeah, it just dropped on Netflix.
If you have not watched it
yet.
Oh, no. It's a must-see on Netflix.
I saw the preview. It looked crazy. It
was outstanding. It was outstanding.
Nice. What's the is there any new foods that you've tried to cook?
Any new food? See, now that's not a fair question for me because I've always been a chef in the kitchen.
Oh, okay.
So I couldn't tell you what's new. I mean, I make a lot of shrimp dishes and crab and like stewed chicken, oxtail. You know, I'm Jamaican, so I got to put all of that in there. I'm making some jerk chicken tonight. So I don't know. Well, you know what? Mac and cheese would be my go-to.
Okay.
So I do make a bomb mac and cheese. So that's probably my favorite.
Okay. How are your plantains? I love plantains.
Oh, they're outstanding.
Okay. All right. I'm sold. Are they the sweet ones or the other kind?
Both.
Oh, you do both?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
The sweet ones I'll eat for breakfast, like in the morning. If I'm making ackee and saltfish, I'll do some plantains or even like some eggs. But then, you know, later on in the day, if you want some tostones, I can do that too.
Oh. You're getting me hungry. I don't need to eat no more. I've been eating too much since this quarantine started anyway.
I gotta stay out my pantry. Like, it's really, really bad. And it's nothing but junk. Like, the only healthy stuff would be like my guacamole chips or something like that. Or my Pop-Tarts without the icing. Everything else is totally horrible. I wouldn't even tell you. It's like bad.
I think we're all in that situation. What's the first thing you're gonna do once all this is over?
The first thing I'm going to do when all this is over, I'm going to drive down to my dad's house and give him the biggest hug and kiss. I let him hold my dog because he doesn't have company since my mom passed. And I was so glad that I dropped him off over there because I literally dropped him off before they shut everything down. Something told me, because we were going to make a trip to Detroit, I was actually going to finish up the album because I have 3 songs left to do.
Gotcha.
And I was like, all right, Dad, I'm going to come, drop the puppy down to you. He was like, all right, no problem. That's really his grandchild. So the first thing I'm going to do is go hug and kiss them. My other aunt, she lives like 15 minutes away from me. So I'm going to just go around to all of my family. And that's really the first thing I'm going to do.
Those are some great things. I think I agree with you. I think the first thing I'm going to do is hug my parents as well. Because I see them from a distance. I have to stand outside the doorway and stuff. But that's real.
It's tough. I mean, seeing the people, even, people who are in nursing homes.
Yeah.
My heart breaks anytime it's on the news and you have to see them, up at the window and their kids or their grandkids are, just waving to them. And you like feel so helpless because you want to hug them. But it's a bad time all around for everybody.
Yeah. But I'm hoping and praying that we get through it soon and things get back to some sort of normalcy. And when they do, please come to ATL and visit the Pandora office. We would love to have you. We'll go over all your artist stats, and we'll show you the artist tools to help you with the new album when it drops.
For sure. That sounds dope. Of course, I will be there, and I'm bringing my dog, too.
Bring your dog. Thank you so much for your time. Be safe.
My pleasure. You too. Stay safe and sanitized. Bye, guys.
Absolutely. Take care.
All right.